Hey guys, what's up? This is 8-Bit Eric. Today we're going to talk about the 30th anniversary of the Nintendo Entertainment System. So the NES, without a doubt, one of the most successfully influential systems of all time. It seems like anybody that tries to make a YouTube channel does NES reviews. I mean, you had the AVGN, you have Irate Gamer, you have Pat the NES Punk, you got me, you got everybody and their mother that makes all these NES related video games. And that's just because when you think of classic 1980s video games, the NES pops into your head. It was the system that basically rebooted the entire video game industry after the infamous crash caused by Atari and several different gaming companies that just flooded the market and oversaturated it. And it was originally it was advertised as a toy product, a robotic toy package, an entertainment system, if you will. Robotic operating buddy packaged along with a system that you could play, and everybody knows the Rob the Robot wasn't that great, but it still was pretty cool to have that, have a zapper, and you know, a series of games that were just pretty fun to play. I mean, when it first came out, you had the black box NES games, pure classics, the Donkey Kongs, the sports games like tennis. You also had Super Mario Brothers, you had Mario Brothers, you had Popeye, the list goes on and on. A good number of classics, and then you had solid third-party representation with classics that all started on the NES, like Contra and Mega Man, Castlevania. Some heavy hitters. You got Disney games, the DuckTales, everything. So back in the 80s, early 90s, the power of Nintendo was just so humongous. I mean, if you think about it, the most iconic Nintendo commercial of all time was the Super Mario Brothers 3 one, where it showed the whole planet, where there was just a big Mario face etched from people wearing different colors of shirts. They even had a New Kid on the Block in it. So the NES just has a timeless lifespan that people just increase constantly. I've seen kids at video game stores. These kids were just like not even 8 years old yet, and they have a solid appreciation for the NES, and it's a fad that's not going away. I mean, when a system is that powerful for people to care about it and people to collect for it so much that the prices just go up, it's amazing. That's solid proof right there that this console is very powerful and very influential. I mean, several fails and successes on the NES, like the Power Glove. Holy shit. The Power Glove, very infamous for not working, but you know, the idea of being a kid 6 or 7 years old and having a Power Glove that looks so bad and playing your games was just like the future. It's like, man, Nintendo is all about the future, throwing all these accessories like the Power Glove where you could just play your games differently, and that set the standard for Nintendo always trying to invent. People give Nintendo a lot of crap for having gimmicks and, you know, coming up with wacky stuff in order to play games instead of just a traditional controller, but I mean, that's what Nintendo does. I mean, you had the Power Glove, you also had the Power Pad, which was running in place essentially on a plastic pad that made a lot of squeaky noise and just felt like a diaper. That thing to me, it's always reminded me of a diaper, but it was pretty cool. And then, of course, you know, back to the Rob the Robot, and then you had the zapper, and then you had a plethora of NES accessories that, you know, too many to name. You think about it, it might have been an NES accessory. Lots of useless accessories too, but some pretty cool ones. I mean, like your NES Advantage and the NES Max, two controllers that were pretty neat. Not too bad, as Keeb would say. Some of the greatest NES classics of mine that I preferred, the Mike Tyson Punch-Out. I mean, wonderful fucking game. That game is probably my go-to NES game. Just always enjoyed playing that. If you've watched this channel and been following it for a couple years, you know that already. Legend of Zelda, my favorite video game franchise of all time, had its humble beginnings on the NES. You think about any kind of action-adventure RPG nowadays, or any 3D action-adventure RPG, sorry guys, they got their inspiration from Zelda. I know a while back people were giving me crap for saying that Shadow of the Colossus and a couple of these other games coming out had looked like Zelda, like, oh, everything looks like Zelda to you. Sorry guys, if there was no Zelda, that game when it came out, no Darksiders, none of that stuff. Even the Demon Souls series, we wouldn't be seeing any of these type of games if it wasn't for The Legend of Zelda. And, you know, you got the Metroids, classic Metroids, which today tons of Metroidvania games out there. I mean, Metroid was the pioneer for that gameplay style. Mega Man is still kicking today, even if it's a little bit, you know, not as popular as it used to be of a series. But Mega Man, highly influential, love it. Contra is still kicking today. So you have a lot of stuff that got its humble beginnings on the NES, and, you know, gaming would not be the way that it was today. And, you know, the NES has a timeless history that's just so fantastic and means so much to so many people. Nintendo fanboyism aside, 30 years of success, 30 years of memories, 30 years of bringing people into gaming, highly successful. And with the release of like Super Mario Maker, celebrating it, 30 years of Mario in the NES. This is good times. This is history in the making, and I think it's a celebration of what's to come. So while we do like to focus on the past and celebrate the success, you know, we need to look towards the future. So I think gaming has a pretty bright future. So the NES, 30 years old. Happy birthday, NES. I've had a lot of great memories with you. What are some of your greatest NES memories? Comment below and share them. I'll be happy to read them. And that's it for today, guys. Just wanted to share a quick little video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Peace out.